So why was school good?
I don't know why.
Just felt good? It was just a good week?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, it is.
I see you got the good laptop today.
Yeah.
Mom gave it to you. Ah.
No, my dad gave it to me.
Oh, your dad got it for you. I thought it was your mom's laptop.
No,
Oh, it was your dad's laptop the
not.
whole time? Or it's the family laptop?
My family laptop.
The family laptop. Your mom uses it a lot. That's why you often have a foggy picture. Okay.
Now I have this computer.
Why is Lily's head, Mimi Milo's head 4 times bigger than yours?
I didn't zoom out the camera.
Ah, you got another camera again? No, this is the same one.
No, this is the old one.
Oh, this is the old one.
Yeah.
Oh, you changed cameras again. So you have 2 webcams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how's Milo today?
I feel really tired. really tired.
You always say, like, no, not always.
But now today is different.
4 out of 5 times you say, I'm very, very tired. I'm very, very tired. You're a busy, busy girl. Oh my. Oh my. Why are you very tired today?
Because I have a lesson in school in this afternoon.
Because you had extra classes in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And it's really hard for me.
Well, that's the thing about studying. You're not running around. You're not doing physical stuff. But when you're studying, it still gets tiring. It's still exercise in a way. I saw a really, well, 2 things. One, I saw a really interesting report. And the other thing I want to mention before I mention this is that I remember when I used to go to school, I was not a good student. I didn't like going to school. I wanted to be outside. I wanted to be fishing. I wanted to be running in the forest. I wanted to be playing on my bikes. I wanted to be playing hockey. As a kid, I didn't like school very much. I didn't see the point in it very often. Of course, I was wrong. I was just one of those kids that was really hyperactive and just always wanted to be outside, did not want to sit in a classroom. I didn't enjoy it. But I got through it, like we all have to do, and moved on. But I realize now I sit and study and work way more than I did when I was in school. And I don't spend as much time outside, even though I enjoy being outside as much. But because I'm doing something I like doing, I don't get that tired. I can work for hours all day long editing videos and teaching, and I don't get very tired unless it's a lot of hours. But it can be tiring, especially if some of it is boring and you're not interested. Then it really makes you tired. The funny report that I saw the other day was about how thinking burns calories. There was a study done that they studied how many calories a chess player lost in a chess competition. And they're just sitting there for hours, right? Thinking, and make a move, and thinking and making a move, and thinking and making a move. And then they play another game and another game. And they lost I don't know exactly, but it was like they lost as many calories, burnt as many calories because of thinking so much. It was just like as if they were running and doing exercise outside. I thought that was quite amazing. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. I'd love to hear more about that. So yeah, my point, I guess, is you got to try to make the courses you're taking interesting. And if there's a subject or a course that you don't like very much, you should try to find something related to that that's interesting to read or do. And then that way, maybe it'll change your perception. because we always do very well, really good on the subjects that we are interested in, that we like, right? Every subject that you're good at, you like it. But you'll notice all the subjects that you do poorly on or you have a hard time with, you don't like it as much. It's hard to create and manifest interest, because you can't just say, I'm going to be interested in chemistry. It's not easy to do. Not easy at all. Anyway, all right. So that's my spiel. Okay, so let's. Oh, we got another message here. We got another message. I can't see it. Yeah, because I didn't do it, but I did it now. Did you see your tests?
No.
No. Well, Mimi.
Every interaction in life is communication.
Oops. Mimi's test, of course, was a bit difficult because there were some parts in it that we had a very hard time hearing you. Today, your microphone seems to be a little bit better. I've heard everything you said. It's not really clear, but I can hear you. And yeah, I posted both your tests 2 nights ago, and you didn't watch it yet. You should check it out. Check it out. So we're going to go to, it took a long time, but we're going to go to lesson 5 today. No, lesson 4. And today we're going to talk about Shopaholics. What's a shopaholic? Do you remember? I think I told you last week. What did I call it? I did call it Shopaholics. What's a shopaholic? A good thing or a bad thing?
Bad things?
It is a bad thing. Why is it a bad thing? What do shopaholics do? Well, the key word here is aholic. So what is it? Alcoholics. What do they do that's bad? What's an alcoholic? No, you don't know that word? An alcoholic is someone who drinks too much. Right? It's a very bad thing. Sometimes you'll see your parents, they'll have some drinks with friends on holidays or in the cafe or something. And, again, I think we've talked about this with food. In moderation, there's nothing wrong with, when you're an adult, of course, I'm not talking about kids because alcohol, you know what alcohol is, right? Yeah. Mimi, you know what alcohol is? Like wine and beer and stuff like that. Yeah. It's really bad this is what I've heard from some psychologists, some literature on some research on psychology, on how the mind, how your brain develops, right, from childhood to an adult. And some of the studies show in the research that alcohol can burn brain cells, and it can really hurt the development of your brain, how it's wired and how it works if you drink alcohol at a young age. The study, I think it was with Jordan Peterson, he's the one I read the most. It said that alcohol because they did a study on university students, and they said that alcohol in a body under the age of 25, in many cases, has an effect on the development of your brain, because your brain, basically, I guess our body especially our brain, is always developing until about the age 25. I thought it was a little younger than that, but this report said 25. And then after that, at 25, actually, believe it or not, that's pretty much the peak of our physical development. And then after that, it's up to us to keep healthy, eat well, and get oxygenated, to keep everything working well. And then the people who are healthy and have a good, healthy lifestyle, they'll prolong their developed body to an old age and live a much healthier life. Those who drink too much and smoke too much and eat too much processed foods and take too many drugs and different things, their body declines, goes down faster, degenerates. That's why you see like soldiers and you see athletes, right? Professional football players and these things. You'll notice that these people, these athletes and everything, they're all between the ages of 18, 19 to 25, 26, right? Yeah, I mean, it's not common for, let's say, athletes or soldiers to still be active when they hit their 30s. Usually that's the end of their career. Then they have to go into something else, right? And that's because the body doesn't improve as much once you get to those ages. You start going down. Even though you keep working out every day, you keep holding on to what you have. Some athletes are very good at taking care of themselves, and their careers can go into their 30s, and in some cases, even their 40s. There are some professional people that are 40 years old or older that still play professional. But usually those people, they're not as fast or as strong or as talented physically anymore. But it's because they're so smart at their game and they know all the techniques and everything. And that's why they're leaders on the team for the younger players. But they're not as strong as they used to be. So anyway, alcohol is what we drink. People drink. And as I'm saying, when you're an adult, there's nothing wrong with having a couple of drinks here and there. It's no big deal. Your body, that's fine. But if you're always drinking every night, then you can develop a problem. And if you drink a lot often, then you would be called an alcoholic. You drink too much, and then that affects your life. It affects your personality. It affects your work. It affects your family. That's usually a negative thing. And a lot of men have a problem with that. I know a lot of people that have problems with alcohol. But when you're young, it's definitely very bad for your development. So wait until you're an adult before you go enjoy a drink with friends. Yeah. So aholic means you can't stop doing something. It's a problem. So a shopaholic is someone who can't stop shopping. They always got to go buy something. They always got to spend money. They always got to buy some earrings. They always got to buy a new shirt. They always got to buy new clothes, new makeup, new whatever it is. But they have a problem. They can't stop shopping. All right. So you know what a shopaholic is now.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do our vocab and see how we do today. Our first words today are going to be, don't drink. Not good for your body. Not good for your brain. What are those?
Earrings.
Yeah.
Earrings.
That's an easy one. Earrings. Yeah, Mimi Malo. Of course, some of the first words are easy, and then they'll get a little harder after. As always. As always. All right, so we got my book here. Got my scorecard here. We got some earrings. You think those are real diamonds?
No.
No, they look really big. And I think if anybody had diamonds that big, they would put them in the safe. I don't think they'd be walking around with them on their ears unless they were super rich and they had a security team making sure nobody robs them. Earrings. Yeah. Do you like earrings, Lily?
I have one.
No.
And Mimi has earrings on?
Yeah, and it lasts for 5 years now.
You have 5 pairs now.
Oh no, it's including in on my ears for 5 years.
Oh, you've had these earrings in your ears for 5 years?
Yeah.
You never take them out?
Because I don't know how to take them out.
You don't know how to take it out? Oh my God. I thought all earrings is just a little clip and you just change them and take them out and put them on. And
The real one, and it's a bit difficult to take off.
I never heard of that. Oh, I hope you don't get an infection or anything. And then have to cut it off or something. Do you have your ears pierced, Lily? Can you wear earrings or they're not pierced? Pierced means they made the hole.
Yeah, I have, but
But you
I
don't wear it.
put off all earrings now.
But you what? All earrings?
I throw it in the trash.
You threw all the earrings away. Okay. Well, maybe
Yeah.
someday when you go to a special party, you might wear some earrings again. When I was a young boy, I wore one earring. When I was a teenager, it was cool for boys to wear one earring in their left ear. And I used to wear a small cross, a Catholic cross, a little cross. But I mean, of course, when I became an adult, I stopped doing it because I know it's kind of silly for a guy to wear earrings. But when I was a teenager, my friends and at school and everything, it was considered cool. So for a few years, I did wear an earring. My parents were not happy. Not happy at all. Yeah. Earrings. Next one. There's a couple of meanings here. And both are written down. I even had
Past? I don't know. No.
I even had long hair when I was a kid. Because that was cool then too.
Safe?
Safe.
Yeah, you got it first, Lily. Safe. A save. Save, right? It could be two ways. It could be like Trevor going swimming here and he's drowning and he needs the lifeguard to come and save him. Or it can be to save your money. Yeah, and this actually, I'm sure it's still saving, but if you look at the money, I think some of it is different. Oh no, maybe I'm looking at the letters on here. I thought they were different. Excuse me, got the hiccups. Different currencies, like from different countries. But now that I look at it again, no, I don't know what language, maybe Russian or something. But I see the same writing on everything. So yeah, saving money. Using a jar for a piggy bank. In the West, we have a lot of coins, right? So for example, a cup of coffee here in Vietnam, in Da Nang anyway, it's cheaper than Cam Pha. When I was in Cam Pha, coffee was like 25,000 dong or 30,000 dong. So more than $1 for a cup of coffee. In Da Nang, they're only like 13,000, 14,000, 15,000. Like half the price. I don't know why it's so different in price. It's the same coffee. But $1 is like 23,000 dong US. So in Canadian, it would be like maybe close to 20,000 dong is $1 Canadian. But your 5,000s, your 10,000s, like a 5,000 would be like a quarter, right? And your 10,000 dong would be like 50 cents. 20,000 would be like $1. And in Canada, we don't have dollar bills anymore. We have coins that are $1. So 20,000 dong would be one coin. And we even have a $2 coin. That would be like 40,000 dong. So in Canada, we have coins all the way up to 40,000 dong. And then the next bill we have is $5. So $5 would be like 100,000 dong, 100,000. So the smallest bill we would have in Canada in our wallet or our pocket, the lowest bill would be 100,000 dong. That would be $5. So we have a lot of coins in our pockets. So many people every night when they come home, they take all their coins and they save the coins. And it saves up really fast, because imagine if every day you threw all your 5,000 dongs, 10,000 dongs, 20,000 dongs, 40,000, like 50,000 dongs, let's say. And every time you have them in your pocket at the end of the day, you always put it in the saving in your piggy bank. It adds up to a lot of money fast. So that's what a lot of people do to save their coins. They always use the bills and make small money, and then the small money goes into the piggy bank. Oh, I forgot to put the word up. Save. So to save something or to save someone. Yeah, save. So you can save your money at home, or you could save your money in a
Bank.
Well, what is it you have in the bank that you put your money in? Everybody has one. It has a number attached to it. And that's where your money goes. So you go into the bank and you say, I want to open up a to put my money in it. No? See, because you link that number to your card. Oh, my wallet. Where's my wallet? Oh, it's over there. I can't get it. And you get your ATM cards and you go to your cash stops or your ATM machine, and then you put your code in. And as long as you put money in the bank, then you can type that in, and then you can take money from that. What? Starts with an A. A bank. You guys don't have one yet. That's why you don't know what it is. Your mom and dad would know this answer. It's called the bank account. So, for example, if you look at this check here, this is a check. Before ATM cards, when I was a teenager, we would open up a bank account. Let me open a bank account. And we would get a little booklet of these little checks. And on the bottom left right here, you see these numbers? It would print the numbers of your account. And then it would probably, these three numbers are usually what branch, because each bank has a different code, a different number. And the other number, I don't remember what it was, but it was to make sure that that was connected to your account, your bank account. So if I went into a store, I would write the date up here. I would write down $50 in writing, and then I right here at the 100. Okay, so $100. Oh no, sorry. The first part is you write to who it is. Oh, it's to A and B Sports Shop, because I want to buy some new sneakers, some new trainers. And then I would write the amount that I'm writing to him, and then I would write in letters the amount right here, and then I would sign it here. And I would show one piece of identification, maybe my driver's license or my ID card, so that the store would know, oh, okay, yeah, you're Trevor Dollemont, okay. And your signature is the same, yeah, okay. So this is money. So that piece of paper was considered money. And then when the shop would deposit its money into the bank, they could deposit the piece of paper, the check, and the bank would automatically send it to the bank, my bank, and my bank would pay the money on that check. So that's how we did it before the ATM machines. So now we have ATM, so we just pay with our ATM card, or we just take money out of the machine with it and use cash. But that was a long time ago when I was a kid. My grandmother still uses checks. She doesn't have an ATM card. She doesn't have a hand phone. She still has the phone where you pick up the phone and you go, hello, is this Trevor? Hello, Trevor. How are you? Yeah, she does not know how to use any modern technology. We bought her a computer 20 years ago. And we showed her how to set up an email. So, because if you call her, it costs money all the time. So we wanted to email her and send pictures. And the next day, she got so angry trying to turn the computer on and open her email, which was the only thing we had on there. Just email. Just press this button and type in your name, and there's your email. And then you can type away like letters. Oh, so nice, so nice. The next day, she called the shop and said, "Come get this machine. I hate it." And sent the machine back to the shop. And she never had a computer again. Yeah, because my dad, I just go click on Skype, on FaceTime. "Hey, Dad, how's it going?" "Yeah, okay, good." And we see each other and we talk. And okay, see you next week. Easy. My grandmother? No. I got to take my phone. I got to dial her number. I got to call her and talk to her. And then I get a phone bill for 500,000 dong on my phone at the end of the month because I had to call my grandmother because she doesn't know how to use Facebook or TikTok or any social app. Yeah. Difficult. Bank account. You will open one up when you get a job. And then you can save money in the bank. That's a point for me. What is this? Where do you pay for your food? Pay for your clothes in a supermarket or a shop? Where you meet the cashier. What do they call that? The place in a shop where you pay for your goods. Look at that lineup. The lineup is at the what?
Cashier.
Now, the cashier is the person who works there. Cashier is the woman that's typing in all the prices for the food. But those lineups, where the point of sale, where you're going to pay, where you meet the cashier, what is that called? Where you put the food down and the machine.
Take out.
Yeah. No, that's it. Say it again, Lily.
Take out.
It's called the checkout. Yeah. Check your stuff and go out, but check and pay. See, they never say check and pay out. They just say checkout. Sounds nicer. Yeah. Now, I would suggest when you get a part-time job someday, maybe in university or something to get some experience, especially you two, because you two both have really good English. Don't take a job working as a cashier to make some extra money because you're not going to learn anything. And you don't really get to have conversations with the people because the people are tired, they shopped, they're usually cranky, they just want to pay and go home. Right. So I wouldn't suggest, I have nothing against cashiers. Some of my friends are cashiers back home. But I wouldn't suggest for you to get experience. I wouldn't do this job. What I would suggest is not a cafe, selling coffee and stuff. It's good because you learn how to deal with money a little bit and you get to socialize a little bit. But the problem is you're mostly going to deal with Vietnamese people and you're not going to be able to practice your English. So I would say your first job to get some experience doing something is like the university girls that come and work at Newway. Do a part-time job in a language center. And that way you get paid to practice your English with native speakers. And you get paid for it. You don't have to pay to come and see Mr. Trevor anymore. But only do that in 10 years from now. Not now. Now, I need you. But in the future, that's a great way to make some extra money and you learn something. And if you work in administration or something, you're going to be able to work on some computer skills. You're going to be able to deal with some parents. Who knows? You might even be able to do some teacher assisting in the classroom to get more experience. It's a good part-time job. Another good part-time job to work on your social skills and your English is, and I'm not talking about your careers. I'm just talking about part-time jobs, a few hours on the weekend kind of thing when you're in university, when you're older. Another really good one is in a hotel restaurant or hotel, something where there's tourism, where you're going to meet Westerners. I think a waiter or waitress in a nice restaurant is a really good part-time job. Sometimes you get tips too, extra money. But you're going to be talking, interacting with foreigners and travelers, which is really good. And the other thing is you're usually going to have to deal with money and giving change and everything else. So that's kind of good too. It's good experience. And you get to see how business works at different levels. So those are the two part-time jobs I would recommend any of our students, especially you guys, because you guys are all into English. So it's a really good way to practice your English and get paid for it. All right. So now that we're out of the checkout, we're going to go. Where are we going to go now? All right. So you went with mom and dad to the supermarket. You bought all the groceries, but you don't have any money left. And you want to go to the movies and the mall with your friends. Mom, Dad, can I have some? What do we call that money that you just a little bit of money, but money you can use to spend on snacks and maybe some fried chicken or maybe go to the movies. It's not money you want to save. It's money you want so that you can spend it. Another word is kind of like an allowance, but I'll talk about allowance in a minute after we figure this one out. What do you call the small money in your pockets? The money that you can spend. You're not worried about saving it. You don't mind spending it. You don't feel
Pocket
bad.
money.
Yeah, it's so easy. Pocket money. Exactly. And that's kind of what it is, right? When you get a job in the future, you're going to get your salary. Let's just make it really, really, really simple. Let's say you have a decent job and it pays you 10 million dong a month. All right. So every month you get 10 million dong. Not worry about taxes and stuff. But let's say, okay, so I'm still staying at home. So that means I can save a lot of money. So I don't have to pay rent. But maybe I help with something. So maybe I give 2 million to my mom for helping around the house and food and things like that. And then maybe I keep 1 million or 2 million for me, my pocket money, so I can go out on the weekends and watch a movie and go to a restaurant and try new food because I really like new food. So you keep 1 million or 2 million for you. That's your spending money, your pocket money. So then you still have 6 or 7 million, right? And then that money I'm going to put in the bank and I'm going to save it and I'm not going to touch it until I want to buy a car or a house or something in the future, right? So you budget how much money is for you, how much money is for saving, how much is for bills. And you do that when you get your money and then you put the money in the right places so that you can manage your money. Allowance is very similar to pocket money, but different in a way. Do you know what an allowance is? Allowance. Do you know what that is? Allowance. What is an allowance? No? You don't know? I'm going to write it down here real quick for you so you can see the word, because if you don't know it, then it's a good word to learn today too. All right, last chance. Anybody know what an allowance means? Allowance is a set amount that you and your parents agree on. For example, when I was a kid, I had a weekly allowance every Friday night or Saturday morning, usually, depending on my age. My mom would give me $10 or $15 or whatever it was at the time. Different ages, different amounts. But the deal was this. Okay, Trevor, you take out the garbage every day and you cut the lawn, mow the lawn because we had a big yard. And what else did I have to do? I think I had to do the dishes every second day or something like that. We had to take turns. And if you do your little jobs, then I'll give you $15 every Saturday. And then you can take the $15 and you can save it or you can spend it. You can do whatever you want. But that was a weekly allowance. It's the amount of money your parents give you. Now, a lot of my friends, they didn't do anything at home. Mom did everything. And mom and dad would give them $10, $20 or whatever the allowance was every week. So they had some pocket money. And again, you could do what you wanted with it, right? You could save it or you could spend it, do what you want. It was for you to learn how to play and manage with your own money. That's an allowance. Do you have an allowance? Does your mom and dad give you a certain amount of money every week? No?
No.
Even for food? And during the week at school, they don't give you some money? Mimi Milo?
Allowance for a month.
An allowance?
Allowance for a month.
Okay, so doesn't matter how much. But now, are there rules? You get so much money every month from your parents. Is that what you said?
No, just a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. You get so much, a little bit, a certain amount, a little bit from your parents every month. Now, that money, is that the money you have to use to buy food at school during the week, or is that money you can do what you want with?
I can do what I want with.
Okay, all right. So what, do you save it or do you spend it?
I save it for 2 months and then I'll spend it.
Okay, so you save for a while, then you spend it on something and you just have fun. Okay, that's cool. What about you, Mimi Milo? Do they give you money for food at school and things like that?
Just about 20 dollars.
20 dong every week?
20 dollars every day.
20 dong every day. Okay, so and with that you buy food and stuff at school, or what do you do with the money? Is it up to you? You can do whatever you want?
Yeah, it's up to me.
Okay, so that's an allowance, right? They give you the money, you can do what you want. Buy food, save it. Yeah, okay. That's an allowance. But once you have the allowance, the money you decide that you can spend on what you want is now pocket money, right? The money in your pocket is not the money you're saving. The money in your pocket is the money you plan to spend. Money in the bank is the money you want to save. Okay. All right. Now we got that all clear. Gee. Pocket money. All right. So now, it's a big thing in the West. I notice it's not that big here. But if you go to a mall, if you go to Vincom Mall, or you go to a Mega Mart, Macro Mega Mart, they call it, right? It's Mega Mart, yeah, Mega Mart, or Big C. When you buy things, they give you something, and it's a proof that you paid for it. What do you call that? Right? You get a slip and it says what you bought and how much you spent and what company you bought it from.
Receipt.
Yeah. And the way we say it is receipt. Receipt. Not receipt. Receipt. Try it again, Lily.
Receipt.
A receipt. Yeah. Did you get your receipt? Yeah. Milo, receipt. Receipt, yeah. Okay, receipt. Easy. It cost $17 and you gave me $20. So here's your $3. What?
Change.
Yeah, the change. When you buy something and the money you get back is called the change. The change is also like the coins in your pocket. I have some change here. What do I got? Oh, I got about $3 in change. But that's what it means. It means the money left over after you buy something. You know, many times example, I almost every day I walk down to the cafe here. And it's a nice little cafe. And I love to go sit outside in the morning. And then I usually bring some of the books with me. And then that's where I pick out all the vocabulary so that we can prepare the classes like this. So I'll go and I'll buy a cup of coffee and I'll sit outside and I'll go through some of the books. But often I'll go and, the coffee is 15,000 dong, but maybe I just have a 50. So I just give them a 50,000 and the 35,000 they give me back is called my what, Milo? I can't hear you at all. That's called my change. The money left over when you purchase something. What does it say here? The money that is returned to someone who has paid for something that costs less than the amount they have given. Right. And that's always, right? The only other way is if it costs 100,000 and you give 100,000. Then you gave them the amount. I can hear your mom fine. How come I can't hear you? That's crazy. We hear her mom really loud and she's at the door, but we can't hear Mimi Milo properly. What's going on over there? So what's that word, Lily? Right? If the
Change.
cost, yeah, no. But I give you a different scenario here, a different thing. If the coffee costs 15,000 and I pay with a 50 and she gives me back 35, that's my change. But now I have 35,000. So tomorrow I go back. But now I have a 10 and a 5. So I buy my coffee and I give her the amount. I gave her 15,000. So no change now. So what's the missing word? I paid her the amount for the coffee, which means no change.
No change.
Yeah, it cost 15 and I gave her 15. So what's the word in that sentence? I gave her the amount for the coffee, which means
Correct.
the correct amount of money. There's a word for that. It's exact. To give the exact amount. Exact. No, I don't have any change. I paid the exact amount, which means the correct amount. Well, correct means to be right. Exact means to be the same, right? Exact amount. It was 15,000. I paid 15,000. Exact. Okay. She has a problem. She is a
Shopaholics.
Shopaholics sounds like the organization that helps people who are shopaholics. Yeah, it's just shopaholics. Shopaholic. Yeah. Shop till you drop. My grandmother likes to shop a lot, but she was one of those shoppers that she would collect all the coupons and she would cut out all the little promotions in the newspapers. So every time she went shopping, she would always buy things on sale. Jeans were on sale, she'd go buy jeans. Food was on sale, she'd go buy food. Whatever it was, as soon as she got the coupon, she'd go buy it because she always felt that she was saving money. And then she would have canned goods and clothes. She would buy Christmas presents a year before Christmas. Oh, yeah. That's what she would do because in North America, probably here too, you have Tet, we have Christmas. But now all the prices are expensive up till Christmas Eve, right? Especially Christmas Day, everything's like double price because everybody's in a hurry to buy to get the presents for Christmas Day, right? So that's the worst time to shop is November and December because all the prices are heavy. There's no sales, there's no nothing. Everything is expensive because they know everybody's going to go shopping. But the next day, right, you have Christmas Eve, you have Christmas Day, and then the 26th is called Boxing Day. I don't know why they call it Boxing Day, but it's called Boxing Day. And every store, every electronic shop, every big C, you name it, it doesn't matter. They have huge sales. Many things are half price. Many things are 20% off, 30% off, 40% off. Sales all day, everywhere, right? Because now the shops want to get rid of all the extra stuff they had because they already made all their money for Christmas. So everything is really cheap now so that they can get rid of all the Christmas stuff and the gifts and everything so they can move on to winter clothes and whatever is popular in January and February in that country. So my grandmother would always wait until the day after Christmas, and then whatever was on the Christmas list, she would go shopping on Boxing Day and buy all the Christmas presents for next Christmas. And she would hide them in her attic so we couldn't see them. And then that way, when Christmas came next year, she'd have 20, 30 presents, clothes, you name it, whatever. And she'd wrap them all up and drop them all off under the Christmas tree. And she bought all of them a year before, but at half price. So she was very good at saving money. And I got a lot of socks at wintertime. I always wanted bicycles, but I kept getting clothes. Things we needed. Yeah, some people shop that way. That's a smart way to shop. You save a lot of money. Okay. Shopaholic. Are you a shopaholic, Lily?
No, I'm not.
Are you a foodaholic?
No, I'm not.
Milo, are you a candyaholic?
Of course not.
Are you a video gameaholic?
I'm not a video game holic.
Yeah, you can put aholic at the end of almost anything.
But I am a musicaholic.
A what kind of holic? Musicaholic?
Yeah, music.
Yeah, anything you do too much of, you can call it aholic. Something aholic. Gameaholic, footballholic, aholic. Yeah. Okay. A very interesting study. Someone who studies the human mind and human emotions and behavior. What do we call this, doctor? Helps people with their emotional problems and behavioral problems. Help you understand yourself better. Try to break things down and figure out why you have this bad habit. Yeah, psychologist. Jordan Peterson is a psychologist. I don't know if you guys know him. Probably not. Probably too young for his material. But he's a clinical psychologist. He was a university professor of psychology. He's written many books now. He's a very, very smart, well-educated, knowledgeable psychologist who now just does public speakings and his YouTube channels and talk shows and interviews talking about many of the social problems that we have today and the reasons why we have certain problems in society and what we need to do to fix them and how to become better versions of ourselves. I listen to his podcasts, interviews, lectures, all the time. I really, really enjoy him. In our reading class that we have a really high level reading class that all the interest 40 students that finished here. I don't do IELTS. We just do advanced reading. But what we do is we pick books that are fact-based and educational, but really high vocabulary and high content. And then we go through that vocabulary and we read those books in our Friday night classes. And right now we're doing a book about the study of 500 successful people. It's called Think and Grow Rich. And one of the books that we will be doing soon when we finish this book, it's kind of like a reading book, a reading class, but it's a reading class designed to build your English comprehension, pronunciation, just like our interests. So instead of taking the topics from the stories that we do, right, like we do Shopaholics today, here we take really high level books and then we use that and break it down and make an English class from it. But it's called more than just English because we're learning about other professional people and we're learning about psychology and we're learning about business and we're learning about all kinds of different things. And some of the books we will be reading soon is some of Jordan Peterson's books. It's a really good program. Even for me, I learned things. Really good. Psychologist. The P is silent and the H is silent. Let's try it one more time, Millie. Millie. Psychologist. Psychologist. Milo. Milo. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Psychologist.
Psychologist.
Yeah. No P, no H. Psychologist. Lily.
Psychologist.
Call me. Psychologist.
Psychologist.
Psychologist. Yeah. Psychologist. Stress on the call. See that deep O, a long O? Psychologist. Biography. Psychology. Right. Okay. Now this word, I thought it was. Is this the right one? Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. No. This is what you read on the back of bottles to know what's in it. This is what you read to see what the clothes are made of or the price. Oh, it's 50% polyester and 50% cotton. Oh, this has blah, 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 all the different things inside it. A piece of paper or other material that gives you information about the object it is attached to. Right? This will tell you all the ingredients. This will tell you about what you want to buy. What do we call it? Yeah, labels. That's right. Label. Important to read the labels. Know what you're eating and drinking and buying. This, no, not yet. Still one more. Okay. So this is like to give support, to help them, to motivate them. Yeah, to give support, confidence, hope to someone. Don't worry, man. You can do it. You can do it. Just, you got to do this and you got to do that, but you can do it. Don't give up. Maybe someone who's having a hard time with a sport or a subject, and you help give them confidence and hope or support. Maybe they're having problems with their family, and you're there as a good friend to help motivate them and get through a hard time. What would we call that? What are you giving someone?
Mobilize.
What?
Maybe no. Cheers up.
Cheers up is just like Muay Thai, where they cheering. That's all that is. Cheer up could also be. No, I'm sorry. I got that wrong. Cheer up definition would be someone who is down or sad and you try to make them happy. Cheer them up. But this is more than cheer up. It's kind of like cheer up, but it's more than cheer up. Maybe someone wants to quit something and you try to talk them out of it. Say, no, don't do that. You're going to regret if you quit. Don't quit. You have to keep pushing through. You can do it. You can do it.
Encourage.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe someone was in an accident and he got some injuries, and he gives up. He doesn't want to try to get better. And you got to try to encourage them to be stronger and keep pushing, no matter, get through the pain. They say that if something's painful, but you push through it, there's a lot of good things on the other side. But that's not easy when it's painful. Not easy at all. Because our first thought, our first inclination is when the times get tough or it gets painful, it gets hard. Most people just quit. I quit. But those are the people who never really become successful. The people who become successful in life are the ones that go through the tough times and they don't give up. They get through it. They persevere. Yeah. And it helps if you have some family or friends that encourage you to go through it and get to where you want to go. Encourage. This one. I thought it was worse. Unpleasant and causing unhappiness. Well, to me, that's just unpleasant, unhappiness, depression. Not that big.
Exhausted.
Well, exhausted means you're very tired. Now, why do we have this girl shopping in here? That doesn't look right. It doesn't look right at all. No, that picture, I don't know how. Oh, what's the sentence here? Maybe that'll help. When I'm feeling, okay. So when I'm feeling unpleasant or unhappy, I go shopping and spoil myself. I buy things for myself. A couple of new dresses always makes me feel better. So that's kind of her solution to dealing with this problem. But this is a problem, right? It's a feeling. What do I say here? An adjective. Unpleasant or causing unhappiness. I'll tell you why I thought it was more serious, because I was associating it with something else.
Miserable.
Exactly. Miserable. I feel miserable, right? He feels miserable because the weather is miserable, right? If you have a rainy, windy, cold day in Kamfa, you would say it's a miserable day. Ugh, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to get on the motorcycle. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay right here because it's a miserable day out there, right? I was thinking misery because I remember this really crazy movie. And it was called Misery. I think Michael Caine, was it? I can't remember the actor. Oh, I remember the actors' faces, but I can't remember their names. But this movie's about an author. And he gets, accidentally, he has an accident in the snowstorm. And the woman who finds him and saves him and takes him to her house is a big fan of his. He's an author, right? So she's a big fan of his books. But she's really kind of cuckoo. She's kind of crazy. And basically she kidnaps him and doesn't like the ending, I think. I think it's the ending of one of the books he wrote. And she wants him to rewrite the ending to make a happy ending or something. Again, it's been a long time since I saw this movie. The movie's called Misery. So she basically kidnaps him. And it's a really, really good movie because she's really evil. It's kind of scary at the end too, if you like scary movies. I know you do, Lily. So it's a good movie called Misery. Good actor and actress in it. Yeah, it's a really good movie. So that was just like misery, like a horrible situation. To me, miserable is like horrible. But according to the definition, it's not that bad. But everybody has different perceptions. Let's try that, Mimi Milo. Miserable.
Miserable.
Yeah, miserable. Miserable. One more time. Miserable. Lily, miserable.
Miserable.
Miserable. Can you think of something that you could say is miserable? What is miserable?
The weather.
But that was my example. I said it was a miserable rainy day, and you went and said miserable.
Miserable dog.
A miserable dog, always causing trouble, always giving unhappiness. Yeah, that happens sometimes too. And sometimes it's people, miserable people. There's some people like that out there too. You think something miserable, Lily? Maybe a miserable teacher. Always cranky and yelling and never happy and never wants to help. Just, do this, do that. Miserable teacher.
Miserable children.
Yeah, that's bad. Miserable children. Usually, if you have miserable children, it's the parents' fault. Usually, because they're not born miserable. They usually become miserable. Yeah. So it could be miserable parents in some cases. And some are bad. It's true. All right. So this is more than a few, but less than many. There are types of ice creams.
A few.
More than a few and less than many. See, like I could say there are many fish, but there are goldfish in there. So less than many. Or a certain type of fish. And the ice creams, there's quite a few. You could say a lot. Maybe it's an ice cream shop, so they have many. But you could also say flavors. Starts with an S. I like
Scary favor.
scary favor. Flavor? What flavors? How many flavors?
I don't know.
You don't know, huh? There are red fish in the group. More than I want to count. More than a few. But not so many, because there's more of the other ones with the black fins. There's more of them. Starts with an S. We've had this word before. I have tried times.
Sometime.
Sometimes. Sometimes is different times. Several. Know that word. I knew you knew that word. Several. Several types. Several kinds. Several ways. Not many, 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 but several. Not just a few. More than a few. Several. Another point for Trevor. Woo! All right. I want to go to the movies. You want to come? Nah, it's raining. It's a miserable day. I'm just going to stay home and play video games. Oh, man. Come on. I'll pay for your ticket. Come on. Let's go to the cinema. We'll take the bus. Here's an umbrella. Nah, I don't want to go outside. Nah, it's not good. I'll buy your popcorn too. Oh, okay. And I got you to come with me to the mall. What did I do? I got you to buy this hamburger. I got you to invest in this project. What did I do to make someone do or believe something by giving them a good reason to do it? I got free popcorn. I'm going. Sometimes you don't want to do something, but your friends or your parents.
Convince.
It's like convince. That's good. Convince is a little bit different. Convince you. Usually it's like something you don't believe or you don't believe, you don't think it's true. And you have to be convinced that it is true or right. Convince doesn't necessarily mean it makes you do something. It would be more making you believe it to be true. A little bit different. Right. I'm convinced. Well, again, prove is like, he stole my cookies. Prove it. Well, he's got cookie crumbs all over his clothes and he's got chocolate in his teeth. That's proof. I proved it. Or I have a video that caught him. His hand, I got video proof. Prove that he took my cookies. That's proof. This starts with P too. I told you it gets harder. We do have
present.
Present is what's under the tree that someone gives you. But same spelling, different pronunciation. Present is to stand in front of class and do a presentation to people. I present this idea to you, to present a new product. But now I need you to buy it. So now I need to get you to want to do what I want you to do.
Pineapple tree.
Pineapple tree. No. What is it, Milo? Per. Yeah, look at that phonic. That's the ER phonic here, yeah? Persuade. Yeah, to persuade someone to do what you want them to do. To persuade your parents to give you a bigger allowance. To persuade your parents to allow you to go to someone's friend's house on the weekend. To get them to agree or do what you want. To persuade. Not force. Force is different. Do it or you're grounded. That's not persuading. You're forcing me. You're making me to do it. That's like a mandate. But to make you say yes, like I did with the popcorn in the movie, right? First you said, nah, I'm going to stay home, play video games. And then I offered to pay your ticket. Nah, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to play video games, but I'll buy your popcorn. Oh, okay. I agree. I'll go. I persuaded them to do what I wanted to do. So now I have someone to go to the cinema with, but it costs me more money. You can often persuade people to do what you want with money. Very powerful persuader. Lily, persuade.
Persuade.
Person, persuade.
Persuade.
Persuade. Yeah. All right. Okay, so this is someone that is at the top of their profession, their sport. Now you could say professional, right? A professional is someone at the top of their sport or their game or their business, or career. But someone who is like above that, the toppest, the highest, the one who knows more than anybody about this virology vaccines. He is the on the subject. When it comes to taxes, he is not just a professional. He is above them. He's the top guy.
Expert.
Expert. That's right. This is one of the engineers, but he's the one that explains everything to everybody because he understands it all. He has the highest level. He's an expert. One of those KS's again. Expert explorer. Let's try that, Mimi Milo. Expert explorer. Are you talking? Okay, I don't hear nothing and I don't see your mouth, so I have no idea if you're actually talking. Her mouth's not moving. Can you hear me, Milo? Okay, we can't hear you. Lily, expert explorer.
Expert explorer.
Explorer, yeah, explorer. Then a tax expert. Yeah. All right. Okay, so this is another word for happy, but we don't hear it that often. I don't know if you've ever seen this word. I'm sure you've heard it, but it just means happy.
Fun.
Pleased or happy? I'm really, you got that job.
Glad.
Yeah. Did you say it first, Milo? What did you say?
Yeah.
I think you said it first.
I said glad.
Yeah, glad. Okay. You do know it. Okay. I don't remember saying it in class very often. Happy. Happy is the most common. And glad and pleased mean the same thing. And of course, people don't say pleased that much because it's harder to say. And glad, I don't hear students say glad very often. But glad is just to be happy, to be glad about something, to be glad for someone. I'm so glad to see you. Glad. I wonder where glad comes from. That doesn't sound French. Glad. 7-4. 4 words left. Another adjective. It's kind of like worse than being nervous. Worried and nervous. Yeah. So not just nervous, but now you're worried and nervous. Both. Almost afraid.
Anxious.
Yeah. Good job, Lily. To be anxious. Now, funny enough, because I always thought when a kid was excited about Christmas to come or to get his present or something, you could say he was anxious because he was so excited about waiting. Kind of a different meaning. Let's see if we got here. Yeah. Okay. So it has a double meaning here, right? There's this meaning right here, worried and nervous, experiencing worry, unease, nervousness, typically about an imminent, something you can't stop, and something that's coming, or something with an uncertain outcome. Yeah, to be very worried can create anxiety, right? To be anxious. But it also means wanting something very much. When you see a kid get really excited because they want it, they can't control themselves. That is an anxious kid. That's an anxious kid. Yeah, typically with the feeling, oh, really? Wanting something very much. Okay, so they're actually like uneasy because they haven't got it yet, but they really want it. So it puts them in a state of anxiety. The company was anxious to avoid trouble. Now, well, that's a different meaning. I'd like to see an example with a kid. I guess in most cases, it's usually negative. But I've just heard it so often, like anxious to get something. But I guess it's a negative anxious too. Okay. Anxious. Mm-hmm. Next on the list. Yeah, and this is one of those really weird X's. You notice it's not a KS. Yeah, it's not anxious. This is the KSH sound. Anxious. And there's another really strange one too. Luxury. Wah! It's Zorro. You know Zorro? The Spanish.
I don't know.
At break time, I'll show you who Zorro is. I gotta write that down. Zorro.
Zoro.
Zoro.
Zorro.
Zoro is green hair.
Green hair. Zoro.
Oh, no, not that Zorro. This is a classic Mexican hero. Zorro. Zoro, I think. It's not zero. It's Zorro. Zoro. If you have Google him. He looks like Lily. He's got the hat and he's got the bandana on his eyes, or the eye bandana, whatever you call that. Zorro. I'm sure it's just Zoro. Yeah. Anxious. Okay. Luxurious. That's what is that one again? The X is lug. A G. Luxurious. Luxurious. A G and a J. Luxurious. That's I can't remember what the phonic is on that now. So we don't say it very often. But there's a couple of X's. I think there's 4 different ones. There's this one, anxious, luxurious, and then there's the GZ, like example. Every time you have those AMs, exit, but exit you can say exit or exit. Exhausted. There's the GZ one. And then the most common, of course, 95% of the time, or maybe more, is the KS sound. But this is one of the strange ones. Anxious. Try it again, Milo.
Anxious.
Just like a bank. Anxious. That sounds good. Zorro. Miss Zorro.
Anxious.
Yeah, very good. You guys have really good pronunciation. Make me look good, you two. You do. All right. I need a student loan, so I got to fill out the application to money from the bank. I need to the book. I'll bring it back next week. Easy.
Borrow.
So easy. Borrow. I want to borrow some money. Will you lend me some money, Lily?
I don't have money.
Milo, you're rich. Will you lend me some money?
Of course not.
Borrow. I need to borrow money because I cannot. That necklace or that car. I don't have enough money. I need to borrow money to buy it. I don't know how he can a new car on his salary.
Own.
Own, you have it. You don't have to pay for it. And earn means the salary you get. what you get paid for the work. But see, his salary is really low. And he doesn't, okay, but no, now he does own the car. It's like, well, how? He only makes a little bit of money. I don't know how he can a new car on his low salary. How? He had to borrow some money. So it was the only way he could to buy the car. I can't go to Hawaii now because I can't the plane tickets. I don't have enough money. I can't what? It. Milo? No, she's talking to someone else. To have enough money or time to buy, keep, or do something. I can't keep taking this class. I don't have enough money. I can't the payments. Another new word for you guys, huh? We have to move to a smaller apartment. We can't this apartment. It's too expensive. Ha! Trevor's going to get another point.
Pay?
Well, if you again, you could say we can't pay the rent every month, but there's another word you got to put in front. We can't the payments for this thing. Right? We can't make the payments. So what is the word that replaces all of that? 5, 4. Starts with an A. 3, 2.
Alone?
Alone. That's the problem. That's what a lot of people do. That's a big mistake, is they can't to buy the car. So they go to the bank and they borrow the money, and then they have to make payments every month, but they can't the payments either. And then they end up owing money and losing the car. A big trap. If you can't, don't buy it. What's the word?
Afford.
Credit cards are dangerous because they allow you to spend money you don't have, but every time you pay it back to the bank every month, you have to pay high interest. So you end up paying back. You don't have the money, first of all, and then you take it thinking, I'll have more money later, but you don't. And then you have to pay back more than you actually borrowed. And then it's even more money you have to pay. And that's how many, many people get into a lot of trouble. They lose their houses. They lose their cars. Always ask yourself a question when you're doing your budgets. Can I afford this? And calculate. Only buy it if you know you can afford it. Don't say I can afford it on future money that you don't have. The saying on that is don't count your eggs before they hatch, right? Just because you have 10 eggs doesn't mean you're going to have 10 chickens. Some might not hatch. Last one. Because if you can't afford it and you lose it, you could a lot of pain. He a lot when his wife left him because he kept spending all the money because he couldn't afford it and the wife ran away. She's been from cancer for 2 years. So much misery and pain.
Beer?
He beered a lot when he is an alcoholic. Suffered, yeah. Suffer is to experience physical or mental pain, right? That's not a good thing. If you have a lot of physical or mental pain, you're suffering. You're going through things that are very, very difficult. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna suffering, succotash. All right. So we're gonna go to the vocab list, but of course we're gonna take our break first. You're here. Okay. Milo's gonna take a longer break again, I guess. Yeah. Donnie. Very colorful picture. All right. So earring save bank account was a new word for you guys. To open a bank account or have a bank account at your bank. The checkout, that's where you pay. Pocket money is the money you spend. Receipt is something you have to keep if you want to return something. You could change something, but it's also a noun as well. The change you get when you buy something. A shopaholic, which of course is someone who can't stop shopping, has a shopping problem. Psychologist, a doctor that studies behavior and emotions and all that kind of stuff. The label, read the label on the shirt, on the package. To encourage someone to keep doing it, to be persistent, to persevere, to finish what they started. Miserable, a very unpleasant, unhappy day or person. Several, quite a few, more than a few, less than many. Persuade, I persuaded her to marry me. An expert, we need to speak to an expert on the situation. I'm so glad to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. I'm so happy. I'm glad. Anxious. In most cases, a negative thing. But the kids are anxious to go to the park. Can be used in a positive way. I don't borrow money anymore because I got in trouble trying to pay it back. Borrowing is dangerous. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Wait until you have the money. Then you don't have to worry about the payments. Or you're going to suffer in most cases because you don't have any money. And there's our friendly zombie. Turned into a they didn't fix the video. Oh my God. How many times I told them that's it? I'm going to fire someone again tomorrow. If you can recognize some of the bad habits you have today, because you're so young, it's so much easier to change your way and quit now. Because like I said, when you get older, it is so much harder to break bad habits. Because any bad habit you have now is a new bad habit because of your age, right? It's not a habit you've had for 25 years. No, it's maybe 25 months or 25 weeks or 25 days, right? So you got to be careful. But you need to be conscious. You need to pay attention to the things you do, the things that you, good habits you have, bad habits you have. And like I said, at school, learn everything you can right now because it's free now. Later, it's going to cost you money if you want to learn something new. And that's hard to do when you have to work and pay bills. I know. It's difficult to understand that at your age because I didn't understand when I was your age. I didn't understand that as I get older, it would be harder to learn things and it would take longer times to learn some things as we get older because of the way our brains get wired. And I'm learning this now through literature about psychology and the human behavior and habits and stuff like that. So, this is studies that have been done for many, many years and many, many professionals. So if it's true for 99% of all the thousands of people they study, we're going to have difficulties too. So be wise, be experimental, be open to learning new things. Definitely learn computer skills now because the future is all about computers. I don't think there's going to be many jobs unless you want to be a construction worker that you're going to need to use computers. So the more you know now, the easier it's going to be when you're older because I have a really hard time learning about computers now. Even my smartphone, I have a hard time with it. Just look at your grandparents. Can your grandparents use an iPhone? No, exactly.
No.
There's my proof. That's exactly what I mean, right? It's very difficult for them to understand the technology today. I remember when I was a kid, my grandparents came over. I was like 10 years old, and there was a VCR, right? It was one of those old machines that you put a cassette in it and you could watch a movie and you could record things on TV. It was like new technology. It was like a brand new iPhone then. And I'm like, well, no, this is the play button. This is rewind, fast forward. This is record. You hit play and record at the same time, and you can put the time in, and it'll record your favorite show. Oh, it's too complicated. It's too complicated. I don't understand the buttons. Take it. I don't want it. I'm 10 years old. It's so easy. What's wrong with you? But their mind was developed a different way, a very different way. It is very difficult. My grandmother is 97 years old now. She's almost 100, almost. And I talk to her on the phone. You know, I keep talking to her all the time because I have to call her. I can't chat with her on the internet. And when I talk to her, it's very, very difficult to have a normal conversation of what I think it is. Because her mind is still like, well, you're happy you have a house on your head and you grow your food in the backyard and you boil everything so everything's healthy and don't watch too much TV. I don't even have a TV. Like totally different worlds, but you're going to be there too. Wait till your grandchildren come and you're going to be like, I don't understand what you're talking about. It's true. So, you know, I know it's hard to understand, but just look at the evidence. Just look at your grandparents, how they're different from your parents and how your parents are different from you, right? It's very, very different. So the more you are open-minded, you know, you listen to many people, not just one, and then you listen and you follow what makes sense, what you can actually prove to yourself that makes sense. And then you start making decisions like that. You will be already many, many steps ahead of lots of the people out there today. Because there's a lot of people out there that have no education, but yet they think they know everything. And usually it's because someone at the dinner table said that person's a bad person or that's a good investment. That's good. And they hear it. They don't know nothing about it. And then they go tomorrow and they tell their friends, oh, no, that guy's a bad guy. And then this is a good thing. They don't even know what it is, but yet they have an opinion. They have an attitude, right? Those are people you have to watch out for. So make your own decisions for sure. And learn everything you can right now. The two things I'll preach. I'll always tell you guys, just like your parents and your grandparents who preach what they believe. I believe 100% that the more you learn about English, the better you can communicate, the more doors will open for you in the future, the more opportunity you will have. Many people will hire someone with a lower education because their English is better than someone with a high education that can't speak English. So English is a big plus in this world and bigger in the future. And the second thing, again, computer skills. Pretty soon, even taxi drivers will have to use computers to run their taxi cars. Pretty soon, accountants, there won't be any because it'll all be computerized. Everything is evolving with technology. So the more you learn, the better off you're going to be in 10, 20, 30 years from now. Before you don't understand anymore, as things keep changing so fast. Computers and language, communication. Best two things I can think of with my experience. Any questions today?
No.
Are you any kind of a holic yet, Lily? Do you have any bad habits?
No.
No bad habits? Maybe I should ask your mom. What about Mimi Milo? Is there anything you do that you know you do too much? That you do too much of it. Yeah, it affects you. You know, you don't get enough studies done. You don't do something enough because this takes up too much of your time. You're an aholic of something. Can you think of something that you do that maybe you do too much?
Using too much computer.
Well, it depends. You could do a million things on computers. Do you mean just watching TikTok?
I do a lot of things.
Oh, I do a lot of things. Okay. So that might not be bad. That might not be bad. And you're active because I know you sing and dance. So you are active.
My computer.
What with your computer?
I active with my computer.
Active with your computer. Well, it's important. I don't know when, maybe another year or two, but one hobby I'm going to start doing. When I was younger, I liked hanging around in garages and fixing motorcycles and fixing cars. And I thought that was a really good hobby. But now again, it changed, right? Now I can't do anything. Now all the cars are computerized. Now you have to bring it to the shop and they have to plug it into a computer to tell you what's wrong. I can't change the oil and I can't change the sprocket, not sprockets, but the distributor cap and the spark plugs. And I can't do that anymore. I used to be able to do it. And I used to tear my motorcycles apart and rebuild them. That's not so bad. But what I want to start doing is I want to have a little shop, one room in my house with a couple of big tables. And I want to start learning how to build my own computers so I can understand the hardware, because I know that my future now is all about online teaching English and building YouTube channels. So learning how to work with computers to me is a bonus hobby that helps what I do for a job. So that's something I want to do. I want to be able to build my own customized computers and understand how they work. I'm not going to pick up painting. I'm going to pick up computer building. Okay. As always, I love chatting with you two. You're both very bright young girls and you both speak very well English and you're going to be fluent as long as you keep practicing. And that's going to open up a lot of doors for you. I'm very proud of both of you. And I will see both of you next Saturday for lesson 5. Good night. Bye, Lily. Bye.
Bye.